What's up, Mastermind Motivation Nation? Welcome to this month's Q&A live with myself and Ryan. How are you, Ryan?
I'm doing great. Just, I got my morning drink and Bo has his evening drink.
This is my evening drink and can sometimes be a morning drink, I think. It depends where you are. It's noon somewhere.
That's right. That's right. Actually, it's almost noon here, so that counts.
So, as we said, we're changing the formats a bit. We're experimenting with times and places. So if you are watching live, thank you so much. It's always awesome. And yes, you want to see a habit that's fixed, and Ryan will attest to you, I wear these every night. You will not see a live video of me or a video that I posted after 7 o'clock without these on. And trust me, it's changed everything. But what we're going to do today, guys, is live Q&A. I love these because I briefly look at the question and I don't go into a huge, I let my natural demeanor answer the questions, and the same with Ryan. So guys, thank you so much for the questions you all asked. We compiled just a few of them because, like always, if there are live viewers, we always want you guys to actually ask us live on air. If you do have a question, type it into the thing. We will read them and get to them towards the end. Like always, if you're just watching this for the first time, please subscribe. All you have to do is just drag the mouse and just click it. It's that simple. It really helps us. The more subscribers we get, the more this is recommended content on other people's channels, the more of an impact we can make. And the cooler you look when we read out your name during a question.
Bam!
Bam! Kudos points. But let's get started. So our first question this week is from Tony. So what we're going to do today, I'm going to read the questions, throw it at Ryan. Ryan's going to throw it back, and we're just going to have some fun. Tony, when you have a bad day that seems to get worse as the day goes on, I find it hard to be positive. How do you break through this situation? Fire away, boy.
That's a great question because everyone goes through this, plain and simple. The first thing that I'm going to say, though, and I bet you Bo's going to nod in agreement, is, man, be grateful to start. Just be grateful for your life right now, okay? That's just going to put things into perspective. We all go through shitty times. It's going to happen. You can't avoid that in life, okay? Those are the curveballs that you learn from, and they make you better in so many different ways. But being grateful and just looking around what you have in your life, you know, for me, I got a cameo here by Frodo. Hey, Frodo. Hey, there he is. All right, Frodo, he's the man. He's like, why? Oh, there's Terrence.
Terrence is here as well.
We're dog lovers. What can you say? But anyways, guys, being grateful. You look at your life. I'm grateful that I have this little dude beside me. I have this beautiful condo that I own. You know, I'm grateful for my career. I'm grateful that I get to do this live feed with Bo and talk to you guys. The next thing too, I noticed in your question, Tony. Let's see your question. You say when you have a bad day that seems to get worse as the day goes on, I find it hard to be positive. Well, I'll tell you what, there's one of the biggest mistakes that you made just in asking this question. You said it's hard to be positive. As soon as you believe that something is hard, trust me, it's going to be hard. You're going to make that situation even more difficult. You got to give yourself a fighting chance every single time that you run into a bad situation. It doesn't matter if it's a day, if it's a weekly thing, it doesn't matter. Don't say that things are hard. Don't make it more difficult than it needs to be. And a lot of people do that. I catch myself doing it. My parents correct me all the time, so I'm very good at catching myself, but I still do it, okay? With drumming, with anything in my life. But you got to look, the last thing that you got to do is you got to look for all the good in your life, and you need to focus on that. If there's a situation that's happening, deal with it. Take it head on. Don't avoid it. But then focus on all the positive that can come out of it. Focus on the positive that you can learn from it. Okay, there's so many things that you can take away from it, but avoiding it isn't going to make that thing go away. And the best way to break through the situation is take it head on, be grateful for your life. And most of all, don't say things are hard. You're just making them that much harder. Bo, how about you, man?
For me, it happens. You get those days where you just like it's the stumping your toe out of bed and everything goes downhill. Two things that I do. The first thing is if I think things are going to get worse and need to break the situation, I literally break the situation and I will do something radically different to whatever path I'm on. Some people say working out, but you know what? If you're feeling shitty and you're having a bad day, the thought of working out, yes, it will break it if you actually get through it, but it's not going to do it. So go and find something and break that pattern of what you're doing. even if it means you're at work and you just put your stuff down, you go, screw that, I'm going for a 20-minute walk, I don't care. And you just go and do that. Break the pattern yourself, because in that way, it's like a record playing. You're going to scratch the record and it's not going to play the same. Another thing that I use, using the record analogy again, I use humor and comedy all the time to break through a bad day. And thank God we have like YouTube on here, because you can instantly get clips of hilarious comedians or clips of your favorite shows that you can just watch again, and it'll make you laugh. And you'll actually, for a moment, you'll actually be in the moment. You're not going to be fearing of what's ahead or kind of depressed about the past. You're going to be in the moment. And from there, you can just set a brand new path on the day. You'll be surprised what happens if you watch a Dave Chappelle or a Louis C.K. clip in the middle of the day. It really can turn your day around. So yeah, for me, comedy is a huge one, but also radically changing my state. Like the other day, it was snowing in London, had a bit of a long, shitty day. Just, it was relentless, just pounding me. So I went and I drew profanities on all the cars down the street just for fun to see what would happen. And I felt great afterwards to notice that other people were joining with me. So we changed the world that way. But yeah, guys, you got to do something radically different, add in a bit of humor, laugh a bit more, and that'll definitely do it. If you want to go into the chemistry of it, you're going to be releasing dopamine, you're going to be feeling good, and that is going to set you in the right direction. So that's what I would do.
Laughter's a great cure for many things, guys. And that's a really good point that Bo brought up there. Laughter is an amazing thing to have in your life every single day. So great stuff there, Bo.
So we'll go on to the next question by Joe. Hi, Joe. What does Joe want? Joe wants, what are some of your experiences, or how have you dealt with the experiences that challenge you to step up in order to achieve your goal?
That's a damn good question. And you know what? I always like to use experiences that I think can resonate to many different people. So for me, obviously my career was based around, you know, getting a gig and playing with Devin Townsend for 15 years. But I think one of the craziest experiences that really required me to step up was when, in between the Devin Townsend band and Devin Townsend project, there was time off. We didn't even know if Devin would do music again, which is kind of the situation I'm in now. But when that happened, I had a job that paid me, you know, $80,000 a year. It was an incredible job. But the bottom line is, what was my purpose? Was it to sit, you know, behind a desk and run this company? Or was it to tour the world playing drums, you know, play Red Rocks, Royal Albert Hall, be endorsed by the biggest drum companies, et cetera, et cetera? Yes, that was my purpose. That was a very challenging decision and very life-changing decision for me to make. And it was a very difficult time in my life, but I had to step up in order to achieve that dream goal of mine. And the step up that I took was quitting a job, the security of $80,000 a year. That security gone, okay? Overnight gone, and I was making a third of that, okay? Under a third of that, to be honest, when I first started Devin Townsend Project. And for many years, I made that same kind of money. But here's the thing. It made the biggest difference in my life. I'm the happiest I've ever been. I enjoyed myself to the max. I toured around the world. I met amazing people. I would have never met Bo, for example, if I didn't have this career touring around the world, which led to the seminars, which led to the motivational speaking. It's just done so much good. But that experience alone really, really changed everything for me. I had to step up. I had to get rid of being comfortable. I had to go outside that comfortable zone. What do they say, Bo? 1 millimeter outside your comfort zone, right? You know, and that's exactly what I did in order to step up to achieve my goal. And, you know, money's not everything, guys. It's another thing I want to say. It's like happiness and experiences. That's the true riches of life. When you can look back and you're 90 years old and you go, man, look at all the things that I did, and I'm here to enjoy it with a smile on my face. I guarantee you will not regret that one bit. Money's nice. Money is a necessity. We need it to live. I get that. But, you know, me giving up an $80,000 job a year to do what I truly love, to give me ultimate happiness. And you know what? Now I do make better money. It was the best decision. And that's how I dealt with that experience. And that's how it challenged me. And that's how I came through and I succeeded. How about you, Bo?
I'll keep it brief. For me, it breaks down to one thing, and it's you're met with a tough experience or something that you know is going to change you. And most people wish it was easier. And a phrase that stuck with me for years is don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. And that flips everything, which means you're going to have to start working on yourself. So, for instance, say you're looking for a new job or something like that. It's not about saying, God, I wish someone would let their guard down so I can get in. No, you want to be able to get over their guard and be so good you can't be ignored. And I think it's one of the secrets to music as well. A lot of people say, how do you make it in the music industry? And nearly every single person I've met who is successful in this industry, including you, Ryan, I think you'd agree. If you have the philosophy, you got to be so good they can't ignore you, you're going to make it.
Yeah.
And like Ryan, you're one of the best drummers in the world. And it's not an egotistical thing. You just go, I got to be so fucking good that no one's going to ignore me. Because when they walk away from that show, they're going to go, that guy, yeah. And oh, it might have been an unsigned band, but if I get to talking to him and I'm in a signed band, it could get, you don't know. So it's about being better, not wishing it was easier. And it's being so good that you can't be ignored. And that's how you make the experience work for you. And we had a great talk on here about experiences 2-3 weeks ago. And even from post-feed that, for me in my daily life, I'm finding myself dragging myself into the experience in the moment a lot more and realizing, okay, now I have a chance to better myself rather than wishing. Like sometimes I work in a store and it can get really busy. And rather than wishing they get shorter. It's a very different way of looking at it. So guys, my advice would be don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Next question from Renata. How do you organize your daily schedules?
Another good question. First of all, I write things down, plain and simple. If you don't have something to follow, if you don't have a plan, you're just all over the place and the day can get away from you very quickly. The next thing that I do is I limit each of my days. Like I have the 4 5s, but this is going deeper into it. And I talk about this at my seminars as well, is I schedule 3 important things a day. I love doing things in 3s. You know, the 9 steps are, it's 3s divided by 3, just 3s make sense. And a lot of people do this. The reason why is if I can schedule 3 things for the next 5 days from my 4 5s, I can focus entirely on that as opposed to having a list of 10 on Monday, 2 on Tuesday, 6 on, you know, like it just gets out of hand. You got to time manage your schedule. So that's how I organize everything. I put the most important stuff to be done first thing in the morning. What's the most time sensitive? That's the first thing that I'll do. Then obviously the second thing, and then the third thing last is going to be the least important out of the 3. Okay. You're going to work way more efficiently. You're going to work a lot smarter. You're not going to confuse yourself. You're not going to overcrowd yourself. You're not going to give yourself enough time to make the next appointment. As soon as I'm done something, I will go back to my list, usually on my phone in the notes app, and I check it off or I'll erase it from the actual list. It creates a habit, and habits are one of the best things. Good habits are the best things you can have in your life. So for me, plain and simple, write things down. Three important things a day that you need to get done. You know, yeah, maybe some days because things are pressing, you'll have 4 or 5. That's fine. But if you can always break it up through your week and have 3 things scheduled, you're going to find you have more time in the day to do other things that are important in your life as well. Family, that's a big thing. Right now it's trying for me. So I have my 3 things a day and I always try to get my family time in, even though I'm extremely busy. And you don't burn yourself out, guys. You're going to burn yourself out if you do not organize your days. If you're doing 10 things a day and then 5 or 6 of those things didn't really have to be done that day, you're going to burn yourself out. Take the most important things, put them at the start of the week, and then, you know, by the end of the week, you'll get them all done if you're smart with it and you work efficiently. But that's how I do it. It's very organized. I get a ton of shit done every week. And I lend a lot of my success to being organized, being professional, and following these lists. And that's how I organize my days. How about you, Bo?
Just before I answer, guys, don't forget, and there's a few of you watching, you can ask us live questions in the chat on YouTube, and we will answer them at the end because any insights that we can help you with, just ask us. But for me, organizing daily schedules, I can't really add much more to that because I think you've nailed it. Top 3 is a great thing. Jim Rohn said you want the day completed before it's even begun. You want the month completed before it's even begun. You want the year completed before it's even begun. And that tier is a success tier. The more successful you are, the more you've planned what you're doing. And yeah, I know a lot of people get a bit scared going, but what about my free time? Well, look, you're going to be constantly in free time. You're just going to be like a chimp throwing darts at a wall, hoping to hit some magic button or something. You got to understand that scheduling, and it comes down to discipline as well. You need to do that. Now, I completely agree with Ryan. Take your top 3 priorities a day, write them down the night before, and then beside them, write in order, like which one's the most important, second most important, and third. If there's a few other things to do on that list, once you've completed those three, it's bonus time. You can do your gaming if that's what you want to do. You can go out and play golf. You can go out to the pub and have that drink. You can practice it. You can have an extra hour's practice, whatever it is that you feel like you've earned that, but keep doing that. And it becomes a habit. And although you might go, well, my life's boring enough that I don't have enough to schedule, I promise you do. And these are brand new habits. You can create the new habits to bring in. So it could be waking up that hour earlier to work out. And that is something that you schedule and you add to it. And it's an important thing. You make that number 1 on your list. I know you've got work. Some of us have 9, 10-hour days at work. And you feel like you're wasting your time. But however, God's given us 24. The one thing that's equal among humanity is we all have 24 hours a day. Yep. So by scheduling it, we're going to get the most out of it. And by having that importance, writing it down is a great way to do it. It's probably the best way. For me, journal, pen to paper works for me because it's just easier. My apps freeze. I just always have problems with phones. It's weird. So yeah, I couldn't really top what you said there, Ryan. But we'll move on to the next question. Last 2 for this before we go live. And it's, can you talk a little about self-destructive behaviors and how to break the cycle? That's from Tracy.
Yes. Wow, man. This is, I think, something that everyone deals with on a daily basis. You can be the most positive person in the world and you'll catch yourself, you know, if you cut someone off in traffic and almost get in an accident, like, oh, you fucking idiot, you know, and that's really bad, you know, and I catch myself doing that. I'll screw up a drum part and I'll say something to myself when I'm playing a live show or even in rehearsal. It doesn't matter. This self-destructive behaviors is one of the worst things you can do to yourself, guys. The bottom line is always remember this: what you're thinking about and what you're talking about is going to come into your life. Okay, so if you're saying these things, truly you're believing that and you're calling yourself that. If you're thinking them, they're going to happen. I don't know how many times I thought about, you know, a drum fill that was coming up live, and then I go to play it and I'm thinking about, oh, don't screw it up, don't screw it up. What do I do? Yeah, I fuck it up. It's happened a bunch of times. But you got to be careful when you're doing these things. The best way you can deal with them, face them head on. They're called limiting beliefs. And you know what? As soon as they have them, the best way to cure a limited belief is you got to tackle it face on, and you got to look at every way that you can turn that limiting belief into a belief that works for you. And the only way you're ever going to deal with it, and we talked about this earlier in the feed, it's interesting, a lot of these questions have similarities, but the only way you're going to deal with that is taking it head on and finding a way to make it positive. I think you got to make it a daily goal too. You got to write it down. You got to turn anything that you think about or you say about or you talk about, sorry, you got to turn it into a positive. And one of the best ways you can do it, pen and paper, write it down. What are the things that are really bothering you? What are the things that you find yourself dragging yourself down about all the time? Write them down. Read them every single day. And every time that you say it, correct yourself. The only way you can do that is correct yourself. That's why I have a daily mantra. You know, I'll sit there and I'll go, today's an awesome day. I'm successful. I'm happy. And I'm grateful. You know what I mean? I tell that to myself every single day, and it works. It puts me in a better mood. It puts me in a more positive spirit, and it helps me deal with these self-destructive behaviors. But you got to get into the habit of it, you know? And the only way you can create a habit is by writing it down and doing it, reading those out to yourselves, catching yourself every single time you say something bad or you think something bad. Fix it, face it head on, and you'll be amazed at how fast you can turn things around. And I know Bo's gonna have some similar stuff to that, but what do you think about that one, man?
I think You nailed it there. You need that spotlight on it. A lot of people as well, I don't think they actually know they have it, which is interesting because they wonder why their lives are going a certain way, but they don't realize they have self-destructing behaviors. Now, if you've asked the question, it's fantastic. You're actually going, holy shit, I actually realize I have a self-destructing behavior. Now, what I'm going to say may sound strange, but bear with me, and you know it works. When you remove a fundamental behavior, you will create a vacuum in your life. And I've never been to AA. I'm not an alcoholic or anything, but I do know one of the things is when they remove the alcoholic block out of someone, they replace it with something else. You need to plug that void. So what I suggest you do is when you find that self-limiting behavior, that self-destructive behavior, sorry, find something, find the complementary act to go along with it, whatever that is, and use it as a trigger, anchor it in, and realize whenever you're about to do this thing, it could be backbiting, it could be, I don't know, it could be going to go to the fridge and eat junk food. Like a really great one that I learned years and years ago. If ever I get cravings and I'm like, ooh, some chili heat wave Doritos would go down a treat right about now. They're Ryan and I's vice.
Yeah, favorite, my favorite.
Say I'm working my ass off and I'm working out and I'm really sticking to my fitness regime, yet this Dorito monster comes into my head. Well, look, I make a deal with myself. That is a void that I need to pull out. I can't be doing that. So what do? I'm going to drink a liter of water. And I make the deal. I'm very honest with the deal. If I still want the Doritos after I've drunk that liter of water, I'll have them. Not once. I'm going to chase it up with some Doritos. So what I think you should do is I really recommend find your behavior, find the complementary, the flip side of it that's going to actually improve your life and really start pushing that in that void. Because if you just take out a self-destructive behavior and you're not consciously aware that you've created a void because it's part of your character, something else is going to jump in there. So be the controller, be the creator, and put it in there. That's just my advice. I love Doritos. We'll take the last one. Just before we go, last one. Lily is in here. How are you, Lily? It's always great to see you. We love Lily.
Hey, Lily.
Be impeccable with your word. I love it, Ryan. She loves you, Ryan. No, she doesn't like me because I wear Skechers, but I'm not going into that.
Lily's an amazing person. You guys should follow her on her YouTube page too.
Do follow
Lily Ma on YouTube. She has some amazing things to say. So follow that woman.
You can get her channel by clicking on her name in the chat, and I'm sure she's going to comment below. But Lily's channel, she does Coach's Corner. She works with Evan Carmichael. She's got a new course coming out. The woman is a powerhouse who will speak to you in ways that I can't and I know Ryan can't. She's just an amazing person. So get in there. So we'll do the last question before we go on to the channel questions.
Cool.
And this is from Winder, and it's, how do you approach looking forward to new beginnings and how to start things the right way?
Starting the right way, I think, always starts with being true to yourself. 100%. You have to be you. Don't try to be anyone else. When opportunity and changes happen, you got to follow your purpose in life. What is your purpose? You know what I mean? Don't ever derive from that. Don't take a different path. Take your time and make sure you're being honest with yourself and you start heading down that path. Now, the thing is, when change happens, you got to look at it as opportunity. That's the only way you got to look at it. You never, ever look at change as a negative thing. Change is everything. When we succeed, it's because of change. You know, when we accomplish something, it's because of change. Granted, if something goes wrong, that can happen through change. That's true. But I tend to focus on everything positive in my life and how I can get there. And this alludes back to the previous questions that we had, but look at change as an opportunity. That's the only way you're going to better yourself and become the better version of yourself. Like Bo always says, become the best version of yourself. Change will always provide that for you. Listen, guys, when change happens, here's the biggest thing. The future holds exactly what you want. It does. It's always going to be there. You know whose responsibility it is? 100% responsibility. It is yours to go out there and get it. And that's plain and simple. You can sit on your ass and you can dream all day long, okay? Or you can go, man, I wish I wish this change didn't happen. I just wish I could go back to my cozy little comfy job or whatever. Or you can go, you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to do what I want with my life. I know what my purpose is. I'm going to go out and I'm going to fucking get it. I'm going to throw out 10 fishing rods ebook. If you haven't read it, check it out. Everyone knows my fishing rod analogy. And you know what? You're going to get bites all over the place. You're going to work hard in different directions. You're going to be smart about it. You're going to be efficient. You're going to grab life by the balls, and you're going to do it the way that you want to do it. So when change hits you, always, always, always look at it as an opportunity. You know, again, with my life right now, crazy changes happened in the last month and a half, and already amazing things have happened. Amazing things. Okay. But what did I do? The day that that change happened, I was already online doing things. I was already talking to connections. I had 50 fishing rod pulls out there. Okay. But I got to where I want to be. And in a month and a half, I'm already cruising around town with the biggest smile on my face. So that's my 2 cents. I could talk hours and hours about this. I'll do a seminar about this one day. I guarantee it. Change is opportunity. Never forget that. Okay, I'll shut up. Bo, go.
There's 2 things here as well. Sometimes new beginnings are forced upon us, and sometimes new beginnings are by choice. You can leave your job, you can leave your partner, you can start a new relationship. I think relationships are the core of everything, not just relationships with yourself, but with everything that you do in your life. And they are going to change the path you're on. I think a lot of us have this idea that we're in a pattern and we're this bubble, and this bubble is slowly going to get bigger, and then our goal is going to be engulfed within that bubble. Well, that's not true, because that's not how life works. It is a series of changes, going into the uncomfortable, doing what is difficult, because here's the thing, if it was easy, everyone would do it. Now, when you find your strength, what you're great at in life, it's not easier. I just think it's simpler for you to make the right steps. But I know a lot of people, there's one of the major things in the world that people were asking recently. They're going, I'm doing everything I can, but I'm just not making money. And money is only made by selling. That's it. And you go away, but I don't have a product. No, you're selling yourself. Selling is the only way to make money. And once you get that idea, then you go, oh my God. So you're starting your, whatever this new beginning is, you're going, okay, well, if I'm going to sell myself to this new level that I'm trying to achieve, backtracking to earlier, I'm going to have to improve my game. I'm not going to wish that was easier. So for me, I think everything's a new, exciting beginning. And also something that I've conditioned myself to do, and I conditioned my partner to, Stacey, which is amazing. It's this thing, as soon as you start to like get angry and pissed off and just like, just things aren't going my way and I don't know what's going on, we just remind each other, just remember, this is like it's darkest just before the dawn. You're going to feel the worst and the angriest and the most pissed off and wanting to give up just before you strike gold. And every time we start to get down and fucking, we start to get excited because we're like, gold's coming. 100 times out of 100, every single time that happens, something amazing happens. Every time I'm in my darkest hour, it is reflected with the brightest hour within a day. Something comes out of the blue and you're like, and I wouldn't have gotten there unless the frustration, because that frustration makes you go, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. Or I am going to do that. So these new beginnings, embrace them, get excited, because they're going to take you somewhere you don't know where you're going to go. It's like something Ryan and I say, it's like if you're dreaming big, you got to aim really big. Yep. Because if you start aiming really big and then new opportunities come into your life and you don't go along with it, you're probably going to fall short. So when these new things come into your life, start aligning with it and go, yeah, I'm up for the challenge. Be a warrior of life. Be that person that's going to go, I'm part of this. I'm not just some victim. There's too many victims in the world at the moment. I could do a whole podcast on just that. It's everyone at the moment's playing who's the best victim. It's really weird. If you watch the press, I'm the poorest. No, I'm the most sexually abused. No, me. It's like, whoa, everyone calm down. But new beginnings, approach it with excitement. And if you're not afraid, it's not big enough. I think you need to be quite afraid in yourself.
And you know what? We're all deserving, guys. We deserve to live the best fucking life possible. End of story. I believe that. Because, you know, I believe I deserve it. I know Bo certainly believes he deserves it. Why the hell?
Hell yeah. Mm.
Right?
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize the camera was on.
So why wouldn't you guys deserve it? Why wouldn't anyone deserve it? We're all deserving. It's up to you, though, to make it happen. End of story. So, 100% responsibility. Exercise time.
Let's do exercise, and then we'll do the last. There's a few questions just popping up last minute.
Cool.
This question, the exercise this week, which is a bit following on from last week, because we want to know as well if you did your honesty exercise last week. If you don't know what we're talking about, go back and watch it. If you said you did and you didn't, you just already lost.
You're failed already. Yourself. Shit.
Don't lie to us. You're lying to yourself. But we found it more powerful that if we're following up with you each week. So we're going to give you our 100% responsibility exercise this week and do it this week. As you watch this, do it this week, because next week, or actually we'll talk about that in a second, but we do follow up with you because we want to know where you've struck gold, because we can pass that on to other people. Yeah. So this week, relating to one of the questions about self-destructive behavior and whatnot, you got to be honest with yourself, 100% responsibility. Find a nagging, annoying, destructive habit in your life and go, you know what? Enough's enough. We're going to fix that this week, and fix it. Do whatever it takes to fix it and get rid of it. And then start to notice as well. Great. If you like any life worth living is worth documenting. So document it. Document where you are today, and you started changing that habit. Maybe you drink too much alcohol. Maybe you don't exercise. Maybe you don't eat well enough. Maybe you're not being nice enough to yourself. Whatever it is, find your start point. From then, start finding that habit and changing it, and document it throughout the week and see where you are in a week. That's what we want you, and fix it. And within that void that makes you a more whole person, that's not just serving yourself, but serving the world, because we're all here together. We're all brothers and sisters. We're not separated by countries and creeds. We're actually all the same. So that would be our exercise this week. Find that one habit and fix it. Perfect. Any additional words, Ryan?
No, that's exactly it. Bo nailed it on the head there, guys. You just fix it. And the thing that you have to do is you just take it straight on. You know, you look at it, you go, I don't like the fact that I'm always late, which I'm sure all of us can relate to that one. Okay. I don't like the fact that I'm always late. Well, you know what? Make it a habit this week then that you're going to leave 15 minutes earlier every time for every appointment you have, any engagement you have, whatever it is. Make it a habit. Make it a chore, because a chore will turn into a habit. So at first it's going to be a chore, okay? Because you're trying to get rid of this nasty habit. You want to turn it into a good habit. So make it your goal to leave 15 minutes early. Every time. Next thing you know, it will become a habit. You'll just naturally be leaving 15 minutes early. That's how these habits change. So everything Bo said, write it down. You know, all those examples are exactly what you should do. Take it head on and find a positive way to change it around, turn it into a positive habit. What questions do we have, Bo?
Cool. Before we go, we're going to do a quick question. Just to quickly read through. I'm just reading through the stuff quickly. You got Lily on here. Lily loves us. I know you love us, Lily. We don't need to hear it. But no, guys, do follow Lily. She's fantastic. Ida's on here. Ida, I've been reading Eckhart Tolle. Is kicking my butt. So true, Bo. Frustration is part of it. Eckhart Tolle, huge influence on my life. Changed my life when I read Power of Now. I actually interviewed Steve Taylor on 4-Minute Masters, who is one of the only people in the world to get a forward on his book by Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle holds Steve Taylor in very high regard. So check that interview out, Ida. Ida's question is, do you have a specific thing that you visualize when you're facing those challenging moments? I'm assuming that's in life.
Yeah, for me, I'm visualizing my outcome, my end result, you know, and that's where I say the power of thoughts. It's a powerful thing. You know, you got to be very careful about how you think. And as soon as something challenging hits me, the first thing that I visualize is the most positive, amazing outcome from that. You know, I'll even look at my vision board. I'll change my vision board sometimes to match what I want in my life coming up. And you can bet your ass I did that over the last month and a half. But, you know, when I found out about the DTP going on hiatus, one of the first things I visualized is what I did when I was a 16-year-old kid jamming in a shitty little, you know, rehearsal space with a bunch of sweaty dudes. And I'd close my eyes and I was playing, you know, Wacken Festival, Download Festival, all these festivals in Europe, you know, in front of 80,000 people, whatever. And that was the visualization that I had. And it wasn't any different when I found out the news about DTP going on a break. You know, it's like, whatever, I guess I'm going to go out and do it with another band then. And that's the first thing I visualized. So always visualize your end result. What is it you want? You know, don't beat around the bush. To me, it just seems like the obvious answer, but that's exactly what I do. How about you, Bo?
Yeah, again, it's, as a musician, I can understand that when you're playing, you close your eyes and you see Madison Square Garden, and then you open them again. And although you're in like some crappy garage, you close them again and you're back in Madison Square Garden. But for me, what really helps is in a challenging time, there's something ahead of me. I just remind myself, this is only a moment in time. And in that very moment, if I can really get into the moment, I realize that there is no problem. And also I realized this will pass. I remember when I used to do a job I hated. And you know what got me through the day, which sucks because I was wishing my hours away, which is not good. But I would say to myself, this too will pass. And I'd get into work at stupid o'clock and the day would pass. And then it's like, I told you. So when you're in those moments, for me, I just visualize kind of trying to be calm, realizing it's only a moment in time. And in 2 weeks, you'll look back and laugh at it. And from that point as well, you're always going to have the best of you kind of asking, okay, how can I serve this situation? If you approach the situation from frustration, you will get frustration. But yeah, that's my advice. But we are going to wrap up for tonight. Now, we're taking a week off. I know, I can hear the gasps already. But don't worry, we will be back in 2 Sundays. And Ryan's not realized this yet. But don't worry, Ryan, I'm gonna blow your mind. March 18th, we will be back. March 18th is the 1-year anniversary that Ryan and I first ever met. So we will be doing a very, very special MMW that day because it was how everything came together. And we'll plan something fantastic for you guys live. We'll be doing some topics. Again, we'll be inviting questions. We love hearing from you guys. So that'll be the 1-year anniversary of myself and Ryan in our bromance. It's not going to be about DTP or Format Masters or anything like that. It's going to be about what we're doing now and how that 1-year anniversary changed our lives to where we are now. So guys, that is what we're really excited about. And yeah, we're having a great time at the moment. And we will not be here next week because we're going to be designing this awesome next Sunday, the 18th. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for your questions. Again, although this is live and you're watching on replay, if you do ask something in the comments, we will get back to you because we just want to serve you as best we can and serve humanity. So from me, thank you so much. Have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful weekend. You've got a week coming ahead, so just crush it and just knock it out of the park. Anything from you, Ryan?
Yeah, guys, have a great week. Yeah, we love doing this and we make the most of it. And I hope you guys do as well. And please subscribe, spread the news, share these feeds on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, let people know about the YouTube page, whatever. We're just trying to do something really cool and share experiences that have worked for us and have made us successful and happy. Okay. And we just want to share that with the world. So subscribe, share. It's like saying chips. Okay? Crisps. That's what it is. Crisps in England. Thank you so much for tuning in, though. We really appreciate it. Share away and look forward to seeing you on a very special live feed in 2 weeks. Take care.
Awesome, guys. Have a wonderful, as you can just see in the chat just before we leave, Kat is here. Kat is our third musketeer. Hi, Kat.
Hi, Kat.
Guys, thank you so much. And Eda, sorry I pronounced your name wrong. I'm just very English, Eda. You will now be known as Bob. So guys, thank you so much for a wonderful night. We'll see you soon. Keep asking questions and yeah, enjoy your week. Bye.